point, Ashleigh Merchant has pretty much blown the lid on Fani Willis's entire office, or at least it appears that way. And we're getting more and more developments coming out. It seems like almost every single day now. Let me know if you guys are able to see and hear me okay in this live. We are live here, April 14th, 2024. And Fani Willis, facing some new scrutiny from the Department of Justice. Now, keep in mind, the Department of Justice is led by Democrats. Now, many argue, many speculate, many critics of Fani Willis believe that Fani Willis was put here specifically to target Donald Trump for one specific reason. We've got Brenda Hennessy in the comments. We've got Robin Spielman, Keenan Ripon. We got Diane Mixon, and we got Keith. What's going on, everyone? Good morning. So, Ashleigh Merchant has, and again, Ashleigh Merchant, she's been the wild card here. She has been the one that has single-handedly probably exposed more outside of the courtroom related to the prosecuting attorney, District Attorney Fani Willis, than any other attorney on this case here. Now, don't get me wrong. Steve the Pitbull Sadow, who is Donald Trump's lead attorney, lead counsel, he's a beast. We're not going to argue that. Strong, very strong attorney here. Many of you guys may remember Steve Sadow. He actually was T.I.'s Atlanta rapper T.I.'s attorney back in like 2009 for some of you old school guys who really followed a lot of the legal high profile cases. Steve Sadow has worked some magic, but this Ashleigh Merchant woman is really making some really making people's heads scratch because, again, she was very, very unexpected here. Now, Fani Willis is also facing some new scrutiny. What's going on, everyone? Gary Owens, Anna Kreider, Mimi. Fani Willis is also facing some new scrutiny after the Department of Justice, aka the DOJ this week, recently confirmed that they have found inconsistencies in how our office has spent federal grant money, at least according to a report that was shared with the Washington Free Beacon. Now, this is bad. This is bad. I mean, okay, if we go with the allegations that the White House basically sent out these, what do you call them? These plants to target Donald Trump. But now things are not working out so well. There have been too many mistakes. There have been too many errors. And so now they're looking at this like damage control. We have to control this problem. We need to separate our administration because, the one job that we asked them to do was to take down Donald Trump, and they can't even do it. So before this whole ship goes down in flames like the Titanic, we need to separate ourselves from the scene. We're too close to this thing. So what do? Do they send the Department of Justice after Fani Willis to investigate these financial inconsistencies? I mean, how are they going to separate themselves from this debacle, from this mess? So Fani Willis facing new scrutiny after the Department of Justice, the DOJ, this week reportedly confirmed that they have found inconsistencies in how her office has spent these federal grant funds. However, specific details about what consistencies the DOJ found, what the specific grant was intended for, or how these funds have been used, it remains unconfirmed. Now, this is in addition to Fani Willis having previously gone back and forth with Representative Jim Jordan, the Ohio Republican who chairs the House Judiciary Committee, over her office's use of grant funds. So, okay, We already know Nathan Wade's involvement in this case. Never mind Nathan Wade and Fani Willis's relationship that they try to keep under wraps. Never mind all that. But then all of the questioning about the funding, where did the funding come from that helped her to pay her later to be discovered? I don't know if they're boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever the relationship status is now, to be able to pay him, what was it, like $650,000 with very minimal documentation. And a lot of people are looking at this like, man, what about the funding that was supposed to be set aside for the youth centers? Are you guys aware that some of the grant money that was initially provided was supposed to be like for some youth center to be built or set up? Whatever happened to that? But not half of the things that we're talking about today would never have even been discovered if not for Ashleigh Merchant doing investigative research and questioning and probing and literally blowing the case wide the freak open. Matter of fact, listen to Ashleigh Merchant tell it herself.
Because, while the motion was pending, I didn't want to do any interviews. I was very cautious about not talking about it before the judge ruled. And Ms. Willis had not been. She had come out publicly and made some statements that were very hurtful and very, negative towards me. And then at the hearing, there had been a lot of statements. I mean, I don't think I've ever been called a liar so many times in my life. And so it was nice to be able to.
Wow. Isn't that weird? The pot calling the kettle black. Ashleigh Merchant said she doesn't remember being called a liar so many times in her life. During this Fani Willis case, within the courtroom of Judge Scott McAfee, the Donald Trump Georgia election case. Unbelievable, guys.
Negative towards me. And then at the hearing, there had been a lot of statements. I mean, I don't think I've ever been called a liar so many times in my life. And so it was nice to be able to finally say things without being interrupted, without being called a liar, without not being able to finish what I was saying, not being able to give the backup. And sometimes the backup or the explanation is hearsay. I mean, sometimes it is. But if you're saying I don't have a good faith basis and my basis is on hearsay, which oftentimes it is, I wanted to be able to say that. So it was nice to have that forum. It's pretty much every subpoena that I had issued.
So after you filed this motion to disqualify, I guess a hearing was scheduled?
Yes.
And then you started issuing subpoenas to line up your evidence?
Yes.
That's when this witness tampering occurred?
Yes.
After that, to try to intimidate?
Whoa, witness tampering, intimidating witnesses. Hey, by the way, guys, if you haven't already, do hit the like button for the video. I totally appreciate you guys. And also, I want to thank you guys so much for always sharing these videos on Facebook and Twitter. You guys are amazing.
Your witnesses from coming to court?
Yes. So, and let me walk through the timeline. So I filed this on the 8th. The next thing that happened was Ms. Willis testified. I say testified. She spoke at a church on Martin Luther King Sunday and was making some statements about why did they single out Mr. Wade. Didn't say anything about that we singled.
Talking about, the relationship. Nathan Wade is who she's referring to.
Him out because he's the only one she's having an affair with. Did not agree to that. Instead said that it was racial and was making some statements about why did they single out Mr. Wade. Didn't say anything about that we singled him out because he's the only one she's having an affair with. Did not agree to that. Instead said that it was racially motivated.
And the other two special prosecutors were white.
Yes.
But they were making significantly less money.
Right. And she even said, to the church, she even said that I'm paying them the same rate, which is not true. Mr. Floyd's contract.
Whoa. So according to Ashleigh Merchant, Fani Willis told the church that she was paying everyone the same. Is that what she said? Because
Sunday and was making some statements about why did they single out Mr. Wade. Didn't say anything about that we singled him out because he's the only one she's having an affair with. Did not agree to that. Instead said that it was racially motivated.
And the other two special prosecutors were white.
Yes.
But they were making significantly less money.
Right. And she even said, to the church, she even said that I'm paying them the same rate, which is not.
So according to Ashleigh Merchant, in the church, wait. What did Letitia James say to the New York City Fire Department. We're in a house of God. Settle down. Simmer down. I think she said simmer down. So here Fani Willis is, according to Ashleigh Merchant, in the house of God, to steal the coin phrase from Letitia James. She says that she's paying them the same amount, but here you have Ashleigh Merchant coming out and blowing blowing the cover off that the white prosecutors were being paid less than Nathan Wade. And based on some information that we had discovered previously, it appears as though Nathan Wade actually had far less experience than the other prosecutors, especially with regard to RICO cases. This is a massive problem. And to allude to the fact that this was that Nathan Wade was being singled out because he was black, really? Like, to pull the race card like that? I mean, if the race card needs to be pulled, okay, by all means pull it. But to illegitimately pull a race card, like, that's not cool. That's almost, I don't want to say it's like crying rape, and then turns out there's no rape. But then if someone actually has been, then it makes it far more difficult to believe if everyone is basically crying wolf, if that makes sense. That's a little bit concerning. It's really not cool. Not cool at all. Oh, and then the other thing, to like blame it on the race card, and when in reality, the only reason why he was being singled out was because there was a relationship there. Wow.
Not true. Mr. Floyd's contract is for $150 an hour. It's never been $250 an hour. So that, one of my kids was listening to it and, said, come listen to this. And I listened to it and I was like, wait, that's not true.
I hope personally that the expenditures are looked into, because
guys, this is a big difference between $150 per hour. When you're comparing one attorney getting like $150 an hour and the other attorney, I want to say it was Nathan Wade, getting $250 per hour. Really? And then when it came down to providing the documentation for what was done with the Fulton County, Atlanta, Georgia taxpayer money that ultimately funded Nathan Wade's fees, there is like minimal to no documentation, like where, or at least I haven't seen any details provided indicating specifically what was done with for all of this money, for all of these billable hours.
Said, come listen to this. And I listened to it and I was like, wait, that's not true.
I hope personally that the expenditures are looked into, because that's a lot of money, and when you look at the vacations, they're acting like these vacations are nothing. But it's like $20,000 over the course of 6 or 7 months.
Whoa. Wait, do you guys take $20,000 vacations? Like, that seems like a little extravagant. And I'm not trying to be all up in anybody's business. I don't know how much you guys spend on a vacation. Comment down below. How much do you spend on vacations, guys? Do you spend anywhere near $20,000? Maybe I'm just being a cheapskate. But it just seemed like $20K is a little steep.
A lot of vacation money. And the taxpayers of Fulton County, there's a lot of them who would love to be able to take a vacation like that. And they're paying for it. And, they've got inmates in a jail that is being sued. They've got inmates that aren't able to make $500 bonds. And instead of hiring 5, 6, 7, 8 new prosecutors to handle those cases, it's going to Nathan Wade, and they're going on vacation.
Wow. So instead of hiring more prosecutors to get folks out of jail or to at least be able to defend their cases, it appears as though Fani Willis may have been overpaying Nathan Wade, which ultimately drained the budget down faster than it would normally have been. Whereas they could have hired additional prosecuting attorneys or additional representation for these inmates many of which are actually being incarcerated for no good reason. So this looks like it's a big sham here, big sham, a big scam. What do y'all think?
Yeah, I think that was
really
important. That revelation was new. It said that she was shifting funds from one purpose, basically saying, I can do whatever I want with that money, and giving it directly.
That's for defense.
Unbelievable, the arrogance.
Wow. How do you even have the balls to just be in front of a court saying something like that? Oh, well, yeah, we got approved. We applied and approved. We applied for these funds for this particular reason. But once we got the money, we decided to use it for some other reason. Like, I don't know if that really flies. I don't know if that flies. But yeah, there's a lot coming out here. In fact, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis's office was recently flagged for potentially high-risk spending practices, according to a new report. Let's see here. So Willis, whose office is leading the prosecution of former President Donald Trump's alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election results in the key swing state of Georgia, has been facing mounting scrutiny from critics ever since she was at the center of the potential ethics violation related to her romantic relationship with a special prosecutor in her office by the name of Nathan Wade. Wade ultimately resigned from the case, which we know. So according to a report of the Fulton County Procurement Review produced by the North Carolina-based accounting firm Sherry Backert and published on April 4th, which is about 10 days ago, the Fulton County Sheriff's Office and Fulton County District Attorney's Office were rated as having a high risk level for their procurement and spending activities. That's not good. That's not good. And this didn't come out of nowhere. Goes on to say that the report, which specifies that the review itself was not an audit. So it's not an audit. So okay. So I feel like all of the dirt is starting to come to the surface. What do you guys think? Let me jump in the comments and let me see what you guys are saying. So we got Suzanne Eckstein in here. Hey there, Ron. What's going on? We got Freedom Rain. I hope the whistleblower she fired can testify against her. That's a very good point. That is a very good point. And look at the timing of when the whistleblower was fired. Like shortly after saying, "Hey, we may actually be improperly using these federal funds," and then suddenly you get fired. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not a good. Gary Owen says, "Bye bye, Fani." We got Catherine in here. What's going on, Catherine? Let's see. So Light Fountain says Congress is looking for answers too. She asked for and got $5 million to help clean out prisons of non-felonious inmates or some such. I didn't know about that. Thank you for sharing that. I'm gonna have to look into that, Light Fountain. I appreciate that. Man, okay. So we got Mighty R1 saying England for Trump, Ron for VP. Oh my God. Yeah, right. I could not. I appreciate that. I just don't see myself in any kind of political office. But Jennifer Biro says the dirt was always there. People are just not really. This kind of the grammar is kind of messing me up, but I think I understand what you're trying to say. The dirt is now being exposed ultimately. Yeah. This is wild. Brenda Hennessy says, "I want a fixed income." So think about this, guys. You got folks on fixed income paying these high taxes. Let me know if your property taxes went up in your area like they did for me. My property taxes have gone up I want to say my property taxes have gone up every year for like the last 3 years now. It's just crazy. Let me know if you guys' property taxes or your rent has gone up. Even your mortgage payments are probably going up too. But, so we're paying all these taxes only to find out that our tax money is not being spent the way it was intended. That's not cool. That's not cool. So anyway, if you haven't already, do hit the like button for the video. I really appreciate you guys. And definitely, I want to thank you guys so much for always sharing these videos. You are absolutely amazing. Totally appreciate you guys. I'm going to go ahead and sign off and finally get to bed. But I'll see you guys in the morning. Take care.